Hello everybody, good afternoon. I see you all have recovered from this excellent lunch we had, and I must say a big compliment to the cook and his assistants, because this was an excellent sample of the experience of this institute. Thank you very much. I like to pick up Simon's question from before. Who is aware of Döehler in this room? Some, but I won't skip my first 10 charts. I thought it would be interesting to shortly introduce the company, because I think it's important to learn a little bit more about our background, and this fits very well to what Safwan just has said, and also to the equations he presented. We are having a huge bulk, a huge heap of applicational intelligence. What we what we are mostly lacking is the theoretical background. And if you have to handle systems which consist of, on an average, of 35 to 40 components, it's hard to calculate. So you need to have this experience, and you need to have this backup by the theoretical people who can help you to understand your systems better. I want to show you just one short example of innovation at Döehler. We talk shortly about green protein solutions, because Tim has presented most of my results already this morning, so we can keep that very short. I want to inform you about our open innovation platform, which is important for us to expand our knowledge in a very advanced and state-of-the-art way, which we cannot do ourselves, and so we need other information sources, and I may mention that also the Chester University is belonging to it, and the Hydrocolloid Institute. And finally, if we have time, we can look at a few questions. So, the Döehler Group. Millions of people consume products containing Döehler ingredients. They don't know about that because we are not branded. We are a purely business-to-business activity, and we have no product with the name Döehler in the retail, which allows us to serve even fierce competitors at the same time. So this is a strategic advantage which we have. We are producing 700,000 tons of products, concentrated products, in many cases, and if you calculate that to ready to drink, down to ready to drink, it would be about 80 to 90 million hectoliters, and that's about the size of the German beer market, of beverages and food products in which we control taste, stability, quality, availability, and obviously also price. We are doing that from 4,000 different raw materials, and we have about 10,000 applications, which means recipes for ready-to-drink or ready-to-eat products in the marketplace. And I guess at least twice this number in the cupboard, which we can access when we need it. And this is done by 5,000 employees, and from this 10% are in R&D. So that's a short footprint of Döehler. These are our markets. We are in all beverage markets, including even alcoholic beverages. I can say that here with caution. We are also in dairy and confectionery and bakery. And we offer integrated solutions. These are our products, so we are in flavors, colors, health and nutritional products, minerals, vitamins, and things like that. The most important portfolio part is ingredients and ingredient systems. So what we like to sell to the industry, to our bottlers, our customers, is a prefabricated compound which contains all the ingredients needed for making up, for instance, a smoothie. Yeah? In this case, purees and juices. In other cases, if it's a soft drink, also stabilizers, flavors, and colors. And this as an all-in-one compound, which allows a very simple production for our clients. And yes, we are, of course, very strong in fruit and vegetable ingredients. In fact, this is the largest part of our portfolio. And I guess these are about 450 to 500,000 tons of material every year. Technology is important. Yeah, we control a number of also pretty advanced technologies, like fermentation and separation technologies. We are in all applications you can dream of in the beverage field. Like you can see it here, I don't have to read it, so it's everything what you can find in retail. And also in food, we have catched up to our past because the company was originating in 1838 from food products, from bakery flavors. In the meantime, we have sold them to a Dutch company, but now we are acquiring it back and are going again back into this nice and very tasty field. We are in 130 countries, and we have about 30, meanwhile it's 32 production sites worldwide, sales offices and application centers, which are typically labs in which we can prepare samples and serve our customers locally. And this is our geographical footprint. You can see it here, I don't have to read it. And these are our production sites, of course, a focus in Europe. And they are looking all the same, so we don't have to go through it. Among others, we also have a brewery with 1.5 million hectoliters output. So this is the place where we are doing malt extracts, malt bases for fueling the non-alcoholic beer market of, for example, the Near East, and well, other specialized factories and laboratory buildings all over this world. Yeah, as I mentioned, we are about 10% R&D people, and so innovation is obviously a very important part of our business. It's like in the fashion market or in the cosmetics market, the average lifetime of our products is only about 18 months. Of course, we have traditional products which we are having for more than 10 years, but on an average, it's 18 months. And so this means that 50% of our products, or more than 50% of our products, are less than 3 years old, which means that you have to speedily innovate and you have to acquire processes which allow that. One example is our protein portfolio, which we are presently building up. And I think I can skip the introduction because we heard it today, so let me just give reference to the headlines. Protein can be a nutrient, a texturizer, and have other functions. Interesting, for example, also sweet-tasting proteins are available which can increase or modify the sweetness of sugar or reduced sugar products. If you look at the proteins, they can be separated in animal and green proteins. Obviously, we call them green proteins because we take these from plants. And of course, what we also learned, we can have microbial proteins which are not contained in this diagram. And I learned this morning that we have to include also microbial proteins, so biomass from microbes. We are very much in the green protein side, but also in dairy proteins because they are traditional and they have a number of fascinating features. High protein, which means more than 12% of the energy of a beverage or a food product should come from protein then. High protein products are pretty quickly growing, and this is a signal for the fact that nutrition changes, nutrition habits are changing. The reasons for green proteins we learned this morning, so we can make it very short. It's a rising population and we need to be prudent with our production resources, and we need to follow the consumer trends, and they say clearly that vegan and veggie and vegetarian food products are quickly growing. Yeah? As you can see it here, the highest growth rates are in the green proteins: pea, rice, canola, still whey, yeah, not that much animal. Yeah. So new product introductions with protein ingredients are also growing, where you can see that there is a lot of interest behind. And This is supported by consumer trends. Protein is part of a healthy diet. 80% of the consumers tell you this. Now, 69% say protein helps you feel full. 88% say protein helps to build up muscles. Yeah? So just 3 answers to questions picked from a long questionnaire, which I don't like to show here because it's too detailed. Also in the media, in the social media, we have a lot of hits dealing with proteins, and most of them are very positively associated. So the online popularity is also growing. And here we have major consumer trends. Flexitarians, this notion has not yet been reported today. So flexitarians are people who eat animal proteins but also like to take from time to time plant proteins or vegetarian food, and they are probably the strongest, the quickest growing group in the consumer league. Environmental footprint of vegan and vegetarian diets is lower than in non-vegetarian diets. We have learned that this morning. And natural gets top billing among consumers. This supports that it has also a commercial meaning. For example, this burger is worth $75 billion because this was the financial offer this startup was presented with after having invented a burger made from purely botanical proteins which can bleed. Yeah? And so this company was estimated to be $75 billion worth when they bought shares of this company. Investors bought shares of this company. And this is a very interesting example from Germany. The Rügenwalder Mühle, which are a classical company for meat products, sausage products, they have built up a vegetarian product range, and within 3/4 of a year, this product range acquired 30% of their sales. Not cannibalizing, but on top of the classical sales with animal protein products. So this was a very interesting development, and almost all of the other competitors have copied this trend from Rügenwalder Mühle. Yeah, and of course there are a lot of market samples of all different categories based on green proteins. We have picked that up, and because I wanted to show you an example for our innovational activities, we have looked into the sensory, technological, and other features of proteins, and have mapped out the sensory profile and have mapped out the technological prerequisites you need to formulate with proteins. Of course, there are challenges like bitterness, sandiness, stability, turbidity questions, and other things like allergens or other health concerns which need to be digested if you want to make successful products from proteins. And it's always a balance between the protein content and something which we call multi-sensory experience, because in our eyes, sensory is not only taste, it's also texture, it's also color, it's also noise, which is appearing when you, for example, open a carbonated soft drink bottle, then you have a noise which belongs into this multi-sensory experience panel, which we regard as very important. So what you need to do to arrive at solutions, you need to optimize the protein source by selection and blending of different proteins. You need to cover off nodes. And this is something where we also want to encapsulate proteins in hydrocolloid systems to protect them from getting perished, and to protect the taste buds from taking up the bitter taste. And so this is a very recent piece of research which we are doing. Then you can also embed the off notes, or you can just block them by other flavors. So these are your possibilities to affect the taste of protein solutions. And we have in our portfolio, meanwhile, we have green proteins, mostly pea, interesting, and rice. We have whey and milk, we have amino acids, we have texturizers to increase or to reduce the texture imparted by proteins. And we have bitter masking flavors to cover the bitter taste of many proteins, especially when they are hydrolyzed. So, the last 2 minutes, open innovation. I mentioned that looking into such a vast area of different disciplines, you cannot stand alone. So you need to invite other ideas, other experience, and that's done in our open innovation platform. This is a look into a short glimpse into our innovation process. It's a stage gate process, and it combines internal ideas from our idea tool, but also from our innovation network. And I am the head of this network, organizing this network, which leads into an innovation platform. And we also have a startup network, because many people have told us that you should not only look at the professors, because the professors in many cases are already very established and in some cases not that innovative as they should be. So they told us, look into the startups. They are still hungry and they are still wanting to develop. And so this has become a very important part of our open innovation network. But also scouts. These are internal people looking worldwide for new ideas. And then the ideas are grinded and crunched down, and finally, hopefully, some remain to get launched from time to time. And we are launching every year about, 70, 80 new products based on the system. To these 70 products, they are belonging about 12,000 projects which we run in our labs. 12,000 projects, yeah. And this is our innovation ecosystem. So we have a committee, we have a program, we have the scouts, and then we have the external experts, open innovation platform, partner companies, universities, and so on and so forth. And this is organized, and you can look that up on our website. This is organized in our innovation platform, which is called We Bring Ideas to Life. And here you can see what we are looking for. We are asking questions to the public. You can see what we are offering, and there we are, for example, assisting you to bring ideas to life by our labs, by our marketing people. In other cases, by seed capital, and in, again, other cases, to include these innovators into our network. Yeah? And so helping them, supporting them in creating their ideas. Our philosophy is partnership, true value, fair revenue, and risk sharing, which is important to assist these slowly growing and tiny growing new ideas, new innovations to get big and tall. And this is Döehler, and connect with us. And then we promise you to bring your ideas to life if they can qualify against all the others, because this is, it must be the case. So this brings me to the end. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thanks, Joachim. We'll time for one question before we go to the coffee break. Quick question over here, please.
Thank you. I'm Jane Skelton from Sainsbury's. I was just going to ask, I was interested by your stage gate process, because we use one, and I think many people do, but how long would it typically take you to launch a product?
That depends, yeah. So we have products which we make literally in 2 or 3 hours.
Wow.
Yeah, because it's going back to existing know-how, existing recipe structure.
Yeah.
You just change one juice or a flavor or a color, then you can complete it in 3 hours. And others, and this is the other extreme, is about maybe half a year to a year, not longer. not
Okay.
longer. Yeah? So in between there.
In between there. It's quite a big gap.
A big gap, yeah.
Thanks.
I think we're going to have to call a halt there because we're running late in our schedule. But thank you very much indeed.
You're welcome.